I'm Andrew Robinson,
And I'm Emiliano.
and we are Leather and Loom. And today we're going to do a video based on our dream watches.
Absolutely.
So the way we're going to frame this video is some boundaries. So we have unlimited budget. It can be vintage, it can be modern,
Mhm.
and we can only pick two. So
And then of those two, we have to pick the one after.
yeah, so we'll pick two that we
Mhm.
want to bring forward, and then we'll pick one final one. We'll pin some photos as we go along to show you guys the watches, but I'm gonna let Emiliano start. To preface, I'm like the watch nerd in this relationship, so I'm like the dude that goes like really deep into horology and stories. So Emiliano, we're putting you on the spot. So what
I
is
think I got
your
one. I
what
got
is
one to compete.
okay, let's hear yours
So
first.
both of mine are from the 60s. The one I'll start with is the Cartier Crash, the original 1967 Paris Cartier Crash. I think it's funky. I think it's unique. The origin had like a few legends. One of them was it was an oval Cartier that was in a car crash. And
That's what they want you to believe. That's like
yeah,
great marketing.
the other one was that the Cartier family was a big, really loved like Salvador Dali, and they kind of took it from his 1937 piece, The Persistence of Memory. But I think it's super cool. There's the London version, there's the New York version, but I really like the original Paris. There was kind of like a remake in 2015 with it in platinum, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And that's fine, but I really like the original. We talked, Tyler, the creator, is a huge fan of them. The number of the originals made, I think, is somewhere in the dozen, but there is no set like, hey, this is how many were originally made. That's my first one.
Okay.
Super cool.
That's pretty good. Honestly, I was not expecting Emiliano to come out with a Cartier Crash, but that is one of my favorite Cartiers. Fun fact about Cartier: they're not well documented.
No.
Their watches are not super well documented, and the history now people are starting to build watch history because people know it's important. But back in the day, that was not a very big thing. Anyway, Emiliano shocked me with his vintage pieces. So yeah, I think
All right,
that's a solid one. So
you're next.
okay. I'm going to come out of left field. I'm going to preface this. Both my watches are horribly predictable. If you were to pick two brands that you think that I were going to pick, what would you pick?
Patek and Rolex.
You're pretty close. Um, one of them is a Patek. It's a 5270p. It's a perpetual calendar
Mm.
Patek Philippe. And I don't have a cool story like you about how awesome the history of this watch was, other than it is a historical watch and it's a beautiful watch. And holy shit, Patek. I'm gonna have to
No, now I
beep.
told you. I got it. I got it in. I
Yeah,
got it in your head.
yeah, you did.
I think it's one of the coolest colors. I think it's
The brown,
that brown, but it's got a little bit of orange in it. It's very light. I think it's a
and it's
great
been
color.
worn by a lot of important
Oh, very
people.
much.
And do you know who put me onto it?
Mm.
John Mayer. John Mayer talks about it
Oh,
a lot, and
does he have one?
he does.
I
And
was about, yeah,
for all of
very
you
sweet.
that know me intimately, I play music.
Yep.
That's like a big part of my life. I play music a lot. I've played music since I was in middle school. So the reason I really got into watches is like John Mayer talking about it and like me seeing an Instagram reel. I'm like, oh, this guy's like the pinnacle of cool. If he likes watches, like maybe I should get one. And yeah, that's kind of how it was born. So I am a big fan. I love the watch. I think it's silent elegance. It is just
No, I
super
think it's great.
super low key, and people could be like, "Oh, that's a Timex," and they wouldn't really know. But
I don't think anyone's going to say it's a Timex.
I don't think anybody would really know though, unless you know. If you know,
Okay,
you know. But
that's fair. It's a great, beautiful watch. I love it.
yeah, but
My second one, also from the 60s, um, the commemorative Speedmaster. And I know this one's a little bit more predictable for me, but the commemorative Speedmaster 18 karat gold with the red burgundy aluminum bezel that was given to all the Apollo astronauts. It's I believe only 28 or 30 were given to the astronauts in November of 69. And on the back of, I believe all 30 of them is written to mark man's conquest of space with time, through time, on time. I think that's awesome. Number 17 was given to Neil Armstrong. Number 19 was Michael Collins, who's an alumni of mine. and I'm assuming 18 was Buzz Aldrin, but I haven't been able to find the research on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's a super cool watch. I think went on auction recently. At least Neil Armstrong's went on auction recently. I can't remember what it sold for, but maybe,
Yeah.
I think like close to 2 million.
Oh my gosh.
But it's a super cool watch. I really love the contrast of the gold and of the burgundy, and the quote on the back to me is my favorite.
That's
Nixon
awesome.
had it. He got the first one actually. Nixon got the first one, and it was given to everybody in the Apollo and like Gemini program. It was awesome.
That's really cool. Would you like to try to guess my second one? What brand?
Oh, okay. So you already knocked out. Is it going to be like a super? Is it an ultra luxury brand?
It is.
Lang Song.
Oh no.
Okay, then I'm done guessing.
Yeah, I'm not a big long Zona guy.
Okay.
But Audemars Piguet.
Oh.
AP.
Okay.
Yeah. And the watch.
Like the original Royal Oak or something?
No. I'm coming way out of left field. I like the John Mayer Royal Oak that he made. You'll have to look it up if you haven't seen it.
Oh, is it? Does it have like
Yes.
kind of like it's a blue dial?
Like a sparkly blue.
Yeah,
dial.
and it's a kind of.
It's a perpetual, a calendar, I believe.
Oh.
But
it's got 3 subdials, right?
Correct.
Okay. I have seen it.
And I think that it's like no greater testament to who I am as a human being, like being in collab with music. And I don't feel a certain type of connection with John Mayer. You know, like I think tribute watches are kind of cringy a lot of the time, and musician watches. But coming from this guy that really like was an inspiration for me for music, and then like listening to him growing up, and then him like kind of like listening to his story and him getting me into music, I think it's a perfect segue for me into this Grail piece. So none other than that alone, I think that would be my Grail watch, and that is my number one Grail watch as a vintage watch.
So that's
business owner.
That's your one.
As a vintage watch business owner, I think it's kind of a sin that I chose that, but that is the watch I choose.
Okay. Well, for me, it's going to be the Cartier Crash, hands down, most unique. And I think that's all we got for today.
I'm Drew.
I'm Emiliano. This is Leather Loom.
Thank you.